Fun.
The 2015 All-Star Game features the 4 greatest living baseball players: Hank Aaron, Johnny Bench, Sandy Koufax, and Willie Mays, who are all absolutely amazing players in their own right. But I'm in the room sitting next to my grandfather, Yogi Berra, and I'm thinking, wait a second. He's got more MVPs than any of these guys. He's won more World Series rings than all 4 of them combined. And I look at him and I said, "Are you dead?" And he said, "Not yet."
One of the greatest World Series resumes of any player ever.
Hey, he got it done. He was a winner because he had all the rings to prove it.
He's the figure that was larger than life.
There's no Jackie without the acceptance of Yogi Berra.
When Yogi comes to the team, they say he doesn't look like a Yankee.
He wasn't 6'3" with blonde hair. Everything about him was kind of funny.
He was a character. He was made fun of in the New York press.
But that sort of became who Yogi Berra was, this funny little guy.
That's right.
Yogi Berra.
I don't think Yogi liked it too much.
The Yogi-isms. Let's talk about the Yogi-isms.
He said nobody goes to that restaurant anymore. It's too crowded.
When you get to a fork in the road, take it. What?
And it ain't over till it's over.
It makes a lot of sense.
That personality of his actually served to take away from his legacy as a baseball player.
It always felt wrong. It's not fair to him.
He's just a gentle, kind soul.
He was loved by so many people in this country.
Total respect for Yogi. A guy that everybody loved, not because he was cute and funny, it's because he was good and he was real.
He was the most overlooked superstar in the history of baseball.
Sunshine State. This is Tampa Bay's Tan Talk.
Change me, oh God. Make me more like you. Change me, oh God. Wash me through and through. Create in me a clean heart so that I may worship you. Thank you.
Santiago. This is Reach Out here. We're in the Clearwater Studios here, 727-441-3000, FM 106.1, FM 102.3, FM 104.3, AM 1340, AM 1350, and AM 1400. And Ray, you're not in Florida anymore. Where are you these days?
I am in New York City, born and raised. Steve, how are you?
Born and raised. You flat left me here in Florida, so you're back in catching opening day at Yankee Stadium tomorrow, right?
That's right. That's right.
How do you feel about opening day?
Oh, you know what? It's I'm looking forward to it. I think the Yankees are going to have a very exciting baseball team this year, so it's going to be very interesting. And Volpe mania has gone like crazy in this town.
That's right. He was given number 11 too. I just saw, so he's ready to play short for the Yankees. But before we start the show, Santiago Pickney just sang again, and I know you know of him.
Is he in your studio now, Steve?
He's in the studio right now. He just sang. Santiago, say hello to Ray.
Hi, Mr. Ray. How you doing?
Good, my brother. You sound great as always. You know, keep going, big guy. I think we just texted each other a little while ago, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Nice.
So he came in the studio because he wants to share that voice of his, and it's opening day. We had the Ozone, and then Jill Martin did her show, and the Chapters did his show, their show. And tonight on Reach Out, it's all about women's baseball, the Florida Bolts. So we have Brooke, Lily, and Tina in studio, along with Santiago. So, Brooke, I'm going to start with you first. Talk about why is it important for women to play baseball and move beyond where they are right now?
Well, I think the better question is why not?
Right.
At the end of the day, we tell our kids, you can do anything you want to do. You can be anything you want to be. But then when it comes time to kind of push the norm and we don't know where that started from, whoever said boys have to play baseball and girls have to play softball, when the girls start to go against the norm or the boys start to go against the norm, why are we shutting them down? Why is it that we tell them, hey, you can do anything you want to be, you can be anything you want to be, but then at 13, 14 years old, we're going, no, sorry, you can't. So, my daughter, she's been playing baseball since she was 5. She's been passionate about baseball since she was 5. She's been pushed to go to softball. She has stuck to her guns and said, nope, I'm not doing it. This is my sport. So why do we have to? Why should we tell them or tell her or the other girls in the state of Florida or around the country, or, there's all girls teams in Australia, UK. Why do we have to tell them, hey, this isn't your sport, when they're equally just as good at what they're doing?
Right. And Tina, you are part of the Florida Bolts too. Explain your involvement and how you met Brooke.
Well, I was in Walmart one night and I was in a hurry. And I'm walking down the aisle and I saw her shirt and it said girls baseball, women's baseball. And she was on the telephone and I just stopped in my tracks and looked at her and I said, I have to know about that shirt. And so she was on the phone. She got off the phone. She explained to me about the Florida Bolts and the progress of girls in baseball. And at that point in time, I had not been on a baseball field in about 13 years. And I just looked at her and she told me about Lily, and I just wanted to get involved right away with them.
Yeah.
And why is it important for women to play baseball separate from the men?
It's very important for women, girls to have a league of their own and to play in a league of only women. I grew up on an island in Key West, and I wanted to play baseball. And I started to play with the Little League, the Middle League, and the Pony League. And I sustained my first concussion at 14 years old by boys that didn't want me on a baseball field.
Wow.
So
that stayed with you.
It stayed with me for a long time, yes. That was only my first concussion. So I've had several by boys and men that didn't want me on the field. I played in the first MABL league and the MSBL league in Miami. And, there was a lot of men that didn't want me on the field.
Right.
And so I was a pitcher and I also played first base. So when I was on first base, there was a lot of men that just footballed me off of the bag.
Wow. This is Reach Out. Ray, when you hear these stories, 50 years in baseball, I know you're working with boys and girls and on and off the field. When you're listening to this, what are your thoughts?
Listen, it's, women are pioneers, just like the African-American players of the era and stuff like that. And, so what Tina says doesn't surprise me. The fact that she stayed on the field all these years and continues, that makes me feel that she's a hero out there, because she's a great example to the other women who want to play. And I'm sure that what she's gone through has made other players stay on the field.
No doubt. I think we have a call, 727-441-3000. Let's take that call. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, welcome to Reach Out. Do you have something to offer about women's baseball?
I play for the Utah Dirt Devils.
Is this Alexia?
Hi, this is Addison.
Hey, hi. So Addison is one
She's
of
in
our
full-on panic mode.
Don't worry, Lily's nervous too. So Addison is actually one of our Florida Bolts girls who does not live in the state of Florida. She actually lives in Utah.
Wow.
But Utah does not have an all-girls baseball organization. So for me, I felt like if you don't have a league and you don't have an organization in your state, join us. We will help you get those resources. So Addison, I'm excited.
Addison, thank you very much. What position do you play?
What position?
I play first base and pitcher.
Okay,
Yes,
first
you
base
keep
and
with
pitcher.
that, Addison. Never give up on your dream, okay?
Never give up. How old are you, Addison?
I'm 13.
13. God bless you. Keep up that passion. Thank you for calling here. Reach out. So, Lily, when you hear your teammate talking like that, I mean, it must inspire you. And as a team, your efforts to really get that word out is important, right?
Yes.
And for you, talk about your teammates. How important it is to play with these girls that aren't all from Florida. How do you have your practices? How is that set up?
So since we're all over Florida, we travel to the most where most girls are, and if they're separated, we go to wherever they are, and we have practices. If they're out of state, we usually have at least 1 or 2 practices before the tournament.
Well, so Tina, when you hear this, I know you're in the middle of doing a book too, and obviously your life passion is to get women more recognized in the baseball world.
Absolutely.
So
it's been a long haul.
It's been a long haul. So 5 years, what's your goal for the next 5 years? Where would you like to see things from this point on?
5 years. You're talking about going back to the 1940s. I mean, 30 years have passed in my life. And I looked at Brooke the other day and I said, Brooke, I was doing the same thing 30 years ago.
Wow.
It is time. Let the girls play. Give them a chance. Give them an opportunity. Give them, a way that they could make a living. A way that if you get injured on the field, that there's benefits there to pay for their injuries. We don't have any of that. I mean, I've seen through my career, I've seen girls with their teeth knocked out, injured on the field, no insurance. And, it's strictly been for love of the game for us to play. So in 5 years, that's an awful long time. I would certainly like to see youth-based baseball grow. There is a mission, there is a girls baseball revolution going on right now. I have never seen these many girls in my life play baseball. They are on a mission, and I don't believe they're going to stop. There's no stopping these girls.
Well, Brooke, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that Tina's right. There is a movement right now for women in baseball. We have Kelsey Whitmore. We have Rachel Balkovic on the Tampa Yankees, who is a coach. We have Olivia, who just started with the D1 school. And we don't necessarily want to infiltrate into the MLB. I don't necessarily think that all of the girls are like, we want to play in the MLB. I think that many of them just want to have, and no pun intended, a league of their own.
Yes.
I think that they want to be able to go to a college and try out for a college women's baseball team, which we're starting to have those. Cal Poly just got a women's baseball league. I believe there's 4 other colleges as well. So that the start of those is where, like, my daughter Lily has that inspiration to say, hey, you know what? Just because you're telling me I have to go to softball doesn't mean that I don't have an opportunity to play in college. But where do they go from college? They're just supposed to stop, or they're just supposed to become a coach for a baseball team, which, that Lily wants to do that. That's one of her goals, but it's because there's nowhere for her to go. If there was a WMLB, then she would have that opportunity to play. And that's one of the reasons that I have pushed for my organization. I took it over, and I feel passionately about giving that opportunity to these girls, resources, and hopefully, they see that and they continue.
Right. Basketball came out of the WNBA 25, 26, 27 years ago, and they're flourishing. And I think the efforts that you all are making, along with what's going on around the nation, it's time for women's baseball to really step up and be in the forefront, just like the women in basketball, WNBA, because it doesn't have to stop after college, right?
I've always thought that as the NBA helped the WNBA, somehow Major League Baseball should definitely get, in touch with these girls. And I think baseball today needs something more. It needs something more than just baseball. I mean, I go to games and there's not a lot of people there anymore.
Right.
And I don't know if this is the answer to baseball, but at least it's something to try that's never been tried before. And, I just let the girls play.
Right. And as the show is going on, there's comments coming left and right that we can't read. So after the show is aired, feel free to look at the YouTube video. Ray, what's your thoughts on women's baseball and where it should be at this point in time? Ray, you still there? Maybe we lost Ray. So this is Reach Out, 727-441-3000. Feel free to call in. And Lily, I'm going to ask you, when you're playing baseball with the boys at this point, right?
Yes.
Do you wish things had changed right now, or are you willing to kind of persevere to get to the point to help other girls?
I wish that it started now, because the girls that are older than me are still struggling, and they've probably been struggling since my age. So I wish that for them, but I wish I could still persevere through it.
Mm-hmm. So you're on a mission, because if you stop playing with the boys, that's a message that we don't want to hear. That we want to see you flourish with the boys, so that your league and other girls can also be in the same position you are as one team and a league. Yeah. So, Brooke, what are your thoughts about that? Because I'm sure there's a lot of little league in the Florida area that do not really cater to girls playing in little league.
So, honestly, I think Lily has been pretty lucky. When she was 5, she approached us and said, "Mom, I want to play baseball." And I thought, okay, great. And we went to a little league nearby, and they said, "No, sorry, we have a softball program. She has to play softball." And she immediately was like, "I'm not doing it." I mean, at 5 years old, she knew she did not want to play softball. So we went to another league down the road, and they were like, "Yeah, we have no problem with her playing." She has had one coach. She's had several coaches that have always encouraged her, but she has one particular coach, Joe, who has just taken her under his wing for the last 8 years. And then we also got introduced to Juliana, who was also on our Florida Bolts team. And these two girls were the only girls for the longest time. And she still works with Joe. She's on Joe's team even now. Fernando's working with her. But she's never really experienced that boys discriminating against her. She's had one incident in our league. She's had a couple of incidences outside leagues where the boys don't have girls in their league. So they were kind of like, "Oh, look, there's a girl," or there's comments.
Right.
She's learned to embrace it, let it roll off her back. Not me, not so much, but that's okay. But that's why, again, I feel very passionately about the Bolts, is that she's getting to that age where the boys are a little bit more powerful than she is. They're a little stronger than she is, and she's not lacking the skills, but she's starting to fall behind. And I think a lot of the girls feel that way. And I think that's when they make that transition to softball.
727-441-3000. This is Reach Out, taking your calls to the end of the show here. We have a couple of minutes. We have a caller right there. Are you there?
Hey, everyone. This is Lisa Caprera.
Hey, Lisa, how are you? Now, you know about women's sports because you're a professional soccer player. So talk about the efforts of these women here in the studio, talking about starting a baseball league just for women and really playing with the boys right now. You've probably experienced that, too, on the soccer field.
Yeah, it's been a long journey playing soccer my whole life. I have some advice to give to everyone. If you have a passion, and you are just determined to be better every single day, you got to challenge yourself every single day. Now, even if your dreams are too small, it all depends on what you want to do. Like, you got to constantly challenge yourself to be better, no matter what it is. If you want to play baseball, soccer, lacrosse, swimming, whatever sport it is, if you have a passion for it, stick with it and be consistent and always believe in yourself. And there's going to be people that will doubt you, but just, you got to prove them wrong, and that's where you gain your energy.
So, Lisa, real quick, what was your biggest challenge that you had to overcome, or are you still overcoming it?
Biggest challenge. So in soccer, I went to 3 universities actually. So I played Division I at Hartford in Connecticut, then Palm Beach Atlantic, and the University of Tampa. I've been through a lot with soccer. There's a lot of stories, but there's always been people that doubted me because I wasn't the biggest player. So I'd always have to kind of work extra hard to prove a point. You know, I would always say, like, people would be like, oh, she's too small to play up top. So I'd have to run faster. I'd have to be stronger, and I'd have to try extra hard. I'd work out 3 times a day, make sure I'm first in every fitness test, just so I can always prove myself and be number 1.
Well, Lisa, thank you for calling in and offering those words of encouragement, because you have a lot of girls listening to this show tonight that really want to get this off the ground. I welcome Brooke and Tina for leading the way here. Lisa, God bless. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, we have another caller there. Let's take that person on. You're on the air here. Reach out.
Hi, I'm Eliana with the Bolt.
Ah, you are part of the Florida Bolts,
Yes.
right?
Hi, Eliana.
Okay, how are you today? What position do you play?
I play first, pitcher, and catcher.
Okay, great. So why is it important for you to play baseball and not softball or anything else?
They're 2 completely different sports, and I don't want to feel like I'm being pushed out of playing baseball. Like, I shouldn't feel like I have to switch over.
So you're feisty too, and you want to see this unfold where women have their own league and you don't have to go through this anymore, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling. We have another caller on the air. Bobby, you have somebody else?
Yes, we do.
Okay, you're on the air. Reach out. We're talking women's baseball, Florida Bolt baseball. What's your thoughts? Hello?
Or we lost them. Oh, they're probably calling back.
Okay, but calling back. So, Lily, when you hear your teammate talk like that, it inspires you?
Yes, because I know they think probably the same thing I am, and they're struggling with me.
So that, Brooke, I mean, that is so very important when you have, a group of people, girls that want the message to be told. This is what it's all about, right?
Right. That's exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
I didn't start this. We had a gentleman, Josh, start it. He moved to Oregon. He couldn't take over, and we had nobody stepping up. And I looked at my daughter and said, what do? Do I just tell her we're done? And do I tell all these other girls we're done? So I stepped up, and I've been running it for 1.5 years now. And hearing them makes me want to keep going. I'm going to do it for them.
We have 5 minutes left. Bobby, you have another caller. You're on the air. Reach out. We're talking Florida Bolt baseball. Are you there?
Hey, this is Emma and Mia Seitz with the 12U Bolts team.
Thank you so very much for calling. What's your thoughts about women's baseball and Florida Bolts?
I think it is really cool, and it gives all the girls an opportunity to play what they love.
And what position do you play?
I play second and pitcher.
Wow. So how old are you?
12.
12 years old. So you're going to keep pushing just like everybody else that's just been calling on the show, right?
Yes.
All right. God bless you and your family. Unfortunately, we have rapid calls here. Let's get the next caller on.
All right, Jack, next.
Jack, Florida Bolt baseball. What you got to say, man?
I think most of your audience has probably never seen the women play. I saw the professional team from Florida play about 20 years ago, and I was shocked at the skill level of the women playing, meaning it was incredibly high. So try to, convey that to your audience. We're not talking girls trying to play. I saw a shortstop deep in the hole throw the runner out at first is equal to any Yankee. So
wow,
they really do a good job.
Jack, agreed. We are going to that national tournament in Kentucky, and we have girls all the way from 8 to 18. And sometimes watching those 18-year-olds, I am like, why aren't they signed up with the Yankees? Because they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal.
Jack,
Yeah,
where did
well,
you
there
see
was-
girls play 20 years ago?
Up in North Jersey, and there was this one blonde that was really good, and I never forgot.
All right.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Jack. We have 2 more callers in 2 more minutes. You're on the air. Reach out. Talking Florida Bowl baseball.
Cambria?
I'm sorry?
Cambria?
Cambria, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for calling Reach Out. What position do you play? You're in the Florida Bolts?
Yes, sir. I play third base and catcher.
Okay, where are you from? Because you have a nice accent.
I'm from Pensacola
Okay, there you go. So why do you play baseball? Why is it important for you to play baseball and not softball or anything else?
because I've played my whole life, and my brothers always played it, so I just love playing it with him.
All right. God bless that. We have one more caller, and then Santiago, you're going to take us home with a song. Fernando, reach out. Florida Bowl baseball. What do you have to say, Fernando?
I just wanted to say how proud I am of these girls. I'm one of the coaches. Actually, I'm the practice coach. And my daughter, Juliana, she played with the Bolts, and she plays the Western Orlando Little League with Lily. And they're so good. We can't wait to go to nationals and then take that championship.
I love it. Fernando, thank you very much for calling. Brooke, Lily, Tina, thank you very much. I think we need to do this every week. I don't know. We'll have to talk about it after the show. Santiago, can you do a song in 30 seconds?
Yes.
All right, you got it. Santiago Pickney, take it away.
This will be a Michael Jackson song. It's a wonderful song.
There we go.
When I had you, I treated you bad and wrong, my dear. And girl, since you've been away, don't you know I sit around with my head hanging down, and I wonder who's loving you.
Yes,
Thank you.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
WZHR, Zephyr Hills.
FM 104.